Shishyastyam Sadimam Dvam Prapanam. And in order to be a good disciple, he asked him what is his duty. So Krishna will process step by step the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita under the mode of goodness. They are not dealing with most of the verse with transcendental subjects. They are trying to elevate the consciousness of someone into good disposition to follow the path of bhakti. So this is the goal of Krishna, to raise his disciple in a good consciousness, step by step. And this section of the Gita is called Guyam. This means secret. So this is among the human population, a secret kind of. Most of the philosophical knowledge who are spread in our schools are not dealing with subject of the spirit soul. So it's kind of, for most of the people, this knowledge is kind of cryptical or esoterical to go into it. But with the word of the Lord, or with Sadhu, Guru, Shastra, we can turn Duskritina or Kripana into Sukritina and Grihastha or whatever ashram, varna, with under the rule of the Vedic scriptures. Krishna is saying, Chatur Varnyam Mayashista Guna Karma Vibhagasha. So he has created these 4 varnas in order to, for varnas, for ashram, in order to let us cultivate science of spirit and science of devotion according to our nature. So we have to work under the law of the 3 gunas. And there is a verse quite similar to this verse. We sing, Na karchidvam na karmani lokasya shijrati Prabhu na karma phalasam yogam svabhavastu pravartate. Which this means, don't believe yourself the doer, don't believe someone else the doer, don't believe that you can cause the result of the action in someone else. Otherwise, you are under illusion, because this is done by the material energy, and specifically in this verse it's mentioned by the 3 gunas. So we are all quite entangled in this law of karma, but Krishna is raising his sword of knowledge to cut through the illusion that we are under. This body is like glue, and he drive our mind to selfish purpose and desire. So the main point in the 3rd chapter is to say kama isha, krodha isha, rajo guna samudbhavam, that this desire, this concupiscence in English, what is it called? Lust is the main enemy in this path of bhakti, one of the main enemy. But Krishna is emphasizing this on the preliminary stage of bhakti. We have to deal with lust, and that's why he say to Arjuna to not believe that he is the cause of the fruits of the action, because in the first verse of the Sri Shopanishad, we say, Ishavasyam idam salvam yad kincha jagatam jagat tena chaktena bunjita magrita kasyas viddanam. That means I'm the master of all moving and non-moving entities, and that's why you should act and only take the parts which is yours for your maintenance, knowing what to all is belongs to. Oh, it's okay? It's English? Okay. To whom they are. Okay. Quite difficult, huh? Okay, that means how can I believe that I'm the proprietor of anything? I have not the power to create. Even the Prajapatis, Brahma himself, received his power when the universe at the beginning of the creation was dark. He was not able to deal with anything. He was into deep darkness. So without the Lord, there is no possibility for us to find a path for liberation, for peace, for happiness. And one of the first tools that Krishna gives to Arjuna is to be nishkam, without desire. So there is two kind of karma yoga, because this is what it refers to. Sakama karma yoga is one who is trying to enjoy the result of his action, either if he is offering for the Lord or not. This is the one who is trying to do it by interest. But Nishkama Karma Yoga is the one who is offering without interest his action to the Lord. So he's trying to educate Arjuna. And we here come sometime for different motives, different desire. That's true, there is good facilities, especially here. There is not so much people, we can have responsibilities, there is land, it's peaceful, quiet, we can go in the forest if we don't want to see people, we can go to work in the garden if we like to grow, we can be on the temple if we don't like to go outside. Anyway, there is for every kind of nature here, there is a place for everyone. So that's the beauty of the gift of Prabhupada. He knows how to deal with the future, is Trikalaga, so he has built up for us a place where to perform in the preliminary stage of yoga, Karma Yoga, which is engaging our desire for the Lord and try to, little by little, put aside all kind of interest. There is, of course, in the path of bhakti, further step, and the next step is to not be attached to any kind of activities. That means it's not me who decide which action I have to do, but I want to try to please Krishna, to find what action I should do to please him. Not I decide, but I try to please him. This is the next step, and it refers more to bhakti. And detachment is a key of success to rule over lust, because when we don't act with any kind of material attachment, that means we don't drive ourselves on the path of selfish project, and we can begin to grow some love and some beautiful emotion for the Lord. So it's what about. There is 5 component to the action. This is The action is ruled over by the doer, the jiv, prakriti, the field, the location, the endeavor. This is, of course, the Lord. But the main thing where we can try to coordinate and to push our spiritual progress is the endeavor. That's why Krishna he start progressively to give Arjuna the impetus to grow in his heart, to surrender little by little, more and more. Surrender is doubt about his attachment to the family. Surrender is principle of morality that he acquired under the mode of ignorance or passion. And later, after advice, he will raise into the consciousness of devotional service, which is more confidential knowledge, until he reaches the main subject, the Kevala Bhakti, which is the Guhyatam, the most confidential knowledge. So, most of the time, Krishna at the beginning will say, like, Tayos tu karma sanyasat karma yogo vishishyate. Between action and devotion and renunciation of the action, you have to choose action and devotion. This is best for you, because there is another verse, it's 6.2, it says, Haruruksham mune yogam, karma karanam uchyate. Yoga rudasya tasyeva shama karanam uchyate. Which that mean it means basically in the neophyte stage it's better to act, to engage our conditionate nature, and in further stage you can go and grow into renunciation. But if we go, unfortunately, most of people in the neophyte stage, I used to think like that, it's good to chant Hare Krishna. Why I should not do only that? It's very wonderful. But it's not possible, because I will go here and there on the platform of the mind, because if I'm not a realized soul, Krishna will inspire me every time. Surely Maya will take over as soon as possible, and I will have to go again to fulfill my desire. So when we are a self-realized soul, a Madpara, we can go into some secluded place, saintly place, and go into devotional service without taking care of our prescribed duties. But this is not the advice of Krishna to Arjuna, because he is supposed to teach the right path, step by step, for the whole humanity. So people have to relate with the easiest way to do. And Krishna is saying the easiest way is to act into devotion. That's why Prabhupada, when he started the movement, I heard from early disciples in Prabhupada memories that he wanted to first do only sannyasis. But when he saw the platform and the emergency of the situation, the lost souls wandering here and there, he tried something else, not something else, but he improved, and he engaged people, because they were not able to only chant, so they gave him services to do. And most of the people here find a way to engage their conditional nature. So this beautiful place has been given to us to raise an example and to set Varnashram Dharma according to the Vedic scriptures. We have already what we need. Certainly time will improve our capacity of self-sufficiency, house facilities for Grihastha, and financial activities, distribution of prasadam. But around that, around these devotional activities, Prabhupada is clear about that, and that's a major point we have to do. If you read the Bhagavad Gita without letting the opportunity, the hypothetical, the hypothesis of Krishna to be the Lord, you will not have any benefit. In the same way, if you worship Radha Govinda Madhava or any deities with the conception of idol without any transcendental form of the Lord, it will be only material activities. In the same way, if you chant Hare Krishna and if you think it's different from the original form of the Lord, there is also not so much benefit. So in this same way, if we perform activities and we don't engage our consciousness into the knowledge of the Lord, there will be not so much result. At least we have to educate people, and that's why Prabhupada set up the Puracharya. Puracharya is the daily activities that we should normally perform before to be initiated. It's dealing with arti, to assist to other arti, to chant, to listen, Krishna Katha, to doing activities, being conscious of God, to relate with the devotees. So we have to educate people in order to let them the chance to grow spiritually. Otherwise, they will do some kind of pious activities, but it's clearly said in this verse, Shinvatam Zakata Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana Ridi Antasto Yabadarani Vidunoti Sulit Satam, that hearing and chanting are pious activity when it's properly given. Otherwise, if you have a misconception, it is not pious activities. It will surely clear something because you give some of your time for some beneficial activities, for some charitable association, for a temple. But still, the more you grow into your consciousness, the more you will have the transcendental impact of the sound vibration. So Krishna is saying, Yagyash Dravya Mayad Gyana Yagyash Gyana Bharatar Shaba, which it's Gyana Dravya Mayad Yagyash Gyana Yagya Bharatar Shaba, which that means the action is culminating into knowledge. So the goal of the action is to have the knowledge of the action, to know what we are doing, what is the purpose of that, and the purpose of that is to relate to the Lord with an offering, with an humble offering. So as soon as we attract people, as soon as devotees share their devotion and make people coming in the temple, people will have a better understanding of what they are doing and which is the benefitor, and they will try to meditate little by little. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he say, Kavim Puranam Anushasi Taram Anoranyam Samanur Smared Yaha Sarvasya Dataram Achincha Rupam Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat. That means people, they have to meditate on me. I'm Kavim. I'm the one who knows everything. I'm Anusasi Taram, the master of everything. I'm Sarvasya Dataram. I'm the one who is sustaining everything. Anor Aniyam Sam means smaller than the atom, and Anusmaredya means you have to meditate. So this is some factor, and after that there is Aditya Varnam. I'm illuminating by my form. My form is full of light, and I'm Tamasa Parastat. I'm above the darkness. So all people, when they grow into knowledge after coming to see us, they should start to meditate, and we have to give them the tools. And Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, association with devotees is a good way to cultivate them. And of course, at least here they will not, if they don't assist to those classes, they will not eat sinful thing, because Yagya Shishastina Santo, that means they will eat what has been offered to the Lord. And this is important to let us them understand that nothing here is done aside Krishna. Everything is done for him. He is in the center. And I have also one verse which is I come into my mind. It's Yad Karoshi, Yad Ashnasi, Yad Jushi, Dadasi, Yad Tapashyasi Kunteya, Tat Kurushva Madar Panam. This verse means whatever you do, whatever you eat, do it as an offering to me. And this is a way to avoid to be entangled. Otherwise, we will do sinful activities, because nadate kasyachin papam nacheva sukritam vibhu. That means I don't accept any pious activity, any sin. That means whatever I do under the three gunas, pious or not pious, I don't accept it. I'm not responsible for that. So, in order to let them have the feeling in their heart of love for Krishna, we have to give them knowledge, and we have to give them at least a proper basis where they can relate on Krishna beyond the material mode of nature. And of course, it says that the four Sukritinas, I don't know, Sukritinas, who comes towards Krishna have already bhakti. Otherwise, they will not put aside their duty and try to raise their consciousness and join a temple. They have something already. And it's called Pradhanibhuta Bhakti. That means they have already acquired some bhakti, and it's even more important than the desire, the material desire. It's not still Kevala Bhakti, Ananya Bhakti or pure devotional service, but still they have something. The Arta, the Gignasur, the Artarti, the Gyani, they all have some love for the Lord, and that's why they come towards Him. And we have to, especially for them, it will not be difficult to cultivate them and to engage them in the proper duties. But for the other one, the Duskricino, Muda, Maria Paritagyana, Asuram Bhavasham Shritam, they will not generally come here. They don't have so much interest into yoga. Maybe we can have Maya Paritagyana or Muda sometime, but our main goal is to focus on the people who have already something in their heart. And when they will try to meditate correctly on the Lord, they will go further into their activities and they will raise their consciousness into the mode of goodness. That's why we try to do there, and that's why Krishna is trying to do with Arjuna. There is a verse which says, Shreyan Svadharmo Viguna Paradharma Dvanushthitat Svadharme Nidanam Shreya Paradharmo Bhayavaha. Don't do the duty of someone else. It's even worse than the death. So try to accomplish your duty. Your duty, svabhav, material, your material duty under the Vedic scriptures is to trying to engage yourself. As a Grihastha, you can raise a proper family and try to teach them Krishna conscious. As a Vaishya, you should protect the cows. Who is doing protection of cows nowadays? There's not so much people, so they don't follow their varnas, and it's quite chaotic because of that. So Prabhupada wanted to put in a larger scale the Krishna consciousness movement to let us settle something going through millennium beside the society. I heard this morning from one devotee. He told on the early days, 66, so really early days, to one devotee, Prabhupada, what is your goal? One devotee asked something, and Prabhupada, he says, this Krishna consciousness movement will spread. One celebrity will help us to spread around the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. He was talking about George Harrison, but he was saying that before to meet him. He was already conscious of all the temple and all the devotee and the innocent people will heard about that and join, and he was conscious of what will happen in the future. Of course, the time running on, he was not able to do everything for us. I mean, he did everything for us, but of course, Prabhupada is so generous that he wants to give more and more. And for him, his mission was not accomplished entirely, but he gave us all the essential things, so we can already do everything with that. Because pure devotional service has to be transcendental. The processes, the knowledge, the activity of pure devotional service are on the platform of transcendental activities, and because it's raising above the material conditionment, it has not to do with something who can be how to say, destroyed by some people who wants to change this. For example, Prabhupada was aware that when he will leave, one of the main things will happen is everybody will raise their voice saying, Prabhupada say this, Prabhupada say that. It's not much happening, but he knew that people, because of their conditionment, they will try to use their desire for their own benefit. But Prabhupada, he gave us the possibility to not act under that and go beyond the law of nature, beyond of our capacities. Whatever pure devotee is doing, whatever action he is doing, he will not get entangled, even if we can see sometimes he's doing, according to our conception, something which is reprehensible, but it is not the fact. Sometime Prabhupada did several things which are totally not understandable. Even one time, in Mauritius Island, Prabhupada came and people of government were there, and he told it's the time to serve them prasadam. Where is the prasadam? And the devotee says, there is no prasadam, the deity, it's still not the time for the deity to be served. He say, okay, bring me the plate of prasadam. We don't serve the deity, we serve the people from the government. So we can say, but it's the duty of the servant of the Lord to serve the deities. How can Prabhupada take for him his interest there? Maybe he wants some benefits for him, but not at all. He was not trying to please. He was not interested. He was only seeing the goal of Krishna consciousness. Sometime Prabhupada was going on tour into limousine, and that's not for his own pleasure. He has always something behind the head, and we cannot understand that. So it says also in an important verse that what in our daily activities in Krishna consciousness, we will surely meet some wall, we will surely sometime do some error, and that's part of the process. But later, and with time, less and less we will commit involuntary error or faults. But Krishna is taking care, is protecting us, is carrying what we have and pervading to what we need. I will finish on this story relating to the duty of people, what they should do. There is during the pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the devotees of Kulinagram, they were generally asking questions to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu towards their duties. And Chaitanya used to answer differently years after years. And one year he said, your duty is to chant Hare Krishna and to serve the Vaishnavas. But they say, who is a Vaishnava? The Vaishnava is someone who is chanting every time, and he is always kind to the other Vaishnava. And another time, one Mukunda Das came, and Mukunda Das was a doctor of the king. And he said to Mukunda Das, your duty Mukunda Das, is to maintain, is to grow materially and spiritually. And at the same time, he says to his son, Raghunandana, your duty is to worship the deities in this temple. He says to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, your duty is to take care of Jagannath in Jagannath Puri. He says to another devotee, your duty is to worship the Ganga. And to other devotee he says, you stay in Jagannath Puri with me. To Nityananda he says, you stay in Bengal. So the Lord, we have to understand that, have different purpose for everyone. And with devotion, we will find what is the plan of the Lord for us. But with this verse, we have to understand we are not the controller. We should come to the position of Nirashir, Nirmamo, without the volunteer to control or without possession. Because otherwise, there will be always obstacles from pure devotional service. Krishna has to work on us like a paste. And when you do a beautiful form with a paste, you put it on the oven, pottery, comme on dit, clay, with clay. Okay? The model is beautiful, but the paste needs to be in a good proportion, and for that we have to grow the water, the nectar of the holy name of the association of the devotees, and we will be fit to have a good shape of a devotee. Maybe I can just add one last thing. The last thing I want to add is I always thinking about that, but I'm not. I cannot overcome still that these judgmental activities of the mind are impediment toward our progression and toward our daily duties with Krishna. If we have in the mind some criticism, it will drive us away from pure devotion. Of course, the Lord will forgive, but we have to, as soon as possible, take back the mind, and the Lord is giving one tools, Abhyasena tukunteya viragina chagriyate, which means it is by detachment and constant practice that we will overcome the mind. And the mind is one great enemy toward our daily activities, because if we want to perform our duty in the spiritual svabhav, the svabhav of the soul, we have to be conscious that all the devotees, they have also their own personalities, and the Lord has some plan for us, and sometimes I have the tendency to judge too fast, and this is against the volunty of the Lord, because even if someone is chanting horribly, he is doing that for the benefit, or it's beneficial for everyone. If he has the most horrible voice, still the mantra will spread his devotion. Still, it will grow in our heart the love for the Lord. So, if someone is disturbing you, don't be too rude to him, because the Lord is still with him, and if he's still there on the path of devotion, he has to be considered as a saint. So this is a hard platform to be, but if we want to accomplish our daily duties, to be detached in a good way, this is the aim that we should have. Sorry, if there is any question, I can answer or not. Okay, sorry for that. Okay. Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai.
Yes, Revatinandana Prabhu ki.